Go.
Hi, Michelle Alva here. So happy with my soul brother, Nathan.
Thank you, Michelle.
And we're here to be available and share.
What we're going to share about today, we're going to share about intention in relationship. I think there's two dynamics in relationship. There's what you do want and what you don't want. And this is from Tony Robbins. Gotta give credit to him for this. And you'll see in nature that reality is existing between two opposing forces, and even with electricity there's a positive and a negative charge, and some of us are either living entirely on what we do want to create and we're not focused on what we don't want in relationship, or some of us aren't even giving any attention and we're naturally vibrating in a fear state of what we don't want. So
to avoid what we don't want.
Exactly. So if we're going to create a intention-minded relationship, I think we get to bring into light both what we want and what we don't want. So you want to take it away, Michelle?
Well, something that's really helped me is learning, and I'll credit Dr. Joe Dispenza and the work that I've learned about quantum physics and quantum healing, how we need to embody the feeling of what it is that we want to create, and at the same time embrace that all of everything that's happening is perfect. And so when we attract those things that we didn't want to create, that's a beautiful opportunity to see where we're at, because we attract what we are, not what we want, actually.
Cool, and I'm going to double up on referencing Tony Robbins here, because I love Tony that much that he gets double props in this video.
That's awesome.
He talks about inner civil war, being undecided in what you want. And when you want this thing and something else shows up, we all get to reflect on how we're not clear in ourselves about what we want. Like, let's say I want an honest, emotionally sensitive partner, and I invite in a partner who's like a total asshole. You know, like I get to look at
that doesn't value you, for example.
Yes.
Like I can speak for that one. I would get frustrated because I felt like I was connecting with people that don't value me, that take me for granted. And the thing is, I give so much. I love to love. But at the same time, sometimes that loving to love is coming from a place of, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, so I'm not enough just being myself. I need to overgive. I need to give more. And people definitely can feel that. And it feels more needy, it feels more heavy. And now I know through all the problems I had, the challenges, that I am enough. And it actually doesn't work to be the other way, because that's what the universe showed me. That's why the relationship didn't work. And ultimately the relationship with myself is what wasn't working. And so I can turn that into an opportunity for me to say, well, what can I learn from that? How can I grow from that relationship? So relationships are beautiful because they really are there to teach us to have a deeper connection with ourselves if we choose to look at it like that. So I highly recommend for us to have a lot of compassion for ourselves, for whatever that person is choosing that they wish to create and do with themselves. And sometimes it's not going to be in harmony with you. So definitely what I would have done in the past more is just let go of that relationship with myself and with that person a lot faster than try to make it work or try to change that person, which is it's not even respectful to think that anything needs to change.
Yes, I can relate a lot to that, Michelle, and I think a lot of people watching this video will be able to relate to that, either being in a space of like giving too much, mm-hmm. or maybe there's expectations from someone else that they need to give, because in any situation there's a dynamic that's created. Either one person is being pulled and another person is pushing. So I think a lot of people can connect with that. For myself, I think there's an importance in what I'm trying to give to the other person, instead giving that to myself, mm-hmm. and being that living example of self-love, and hoping that the other partner or the other person can see for themselves that they can love themselves. And you know, it's never perfect. There's always going to be bumps in the road, and I think one of the most amazing things in relationship is just honest conversation, being forgiving, being open to talking about things and confronting things. I think at the end of the day,
especially saying when you're scared.
Yes. Same.
I think this one I have to like butt in and say, there are times when I was so scared, but I was ashamed that I was feeling scared. I kind of, I wish I would have let myself show myself that I'm vulnerable, that I'm scared, and to be more available in that way instead of me thinking I have to be perfect at relationships or perfect at anything, because that puts so much pressure and it really disconnects us. And the other thing I learned is to give for the pure joy of giving, to give because I wish to love, I wish to do that. It's the giving is the gift, and not to expect anything. We're never going to be happy if we're expecting anything in return. And that's not love. Love is all about surrendering and allowing and giving for the pure joy of giving. So those are beautiful things that I've learned, and I'm grateful. Thank you, universe, for all the oopses and all the...
And I want to add, I think giving because we're overflowing, because there's no place else for our giving to go, because we're already so full. Yeah.
And also to value ourselves and make sure that we're giving authentically, and that it's coming from a place of fulfillment and not from a place of wanting to get something in return.
And that is a codependency trap when you give something with expectations. I've learned.
Yeah, me too.
Those are little traps. You gotta be super aware of this.
So we wish for everyone to be more aware as we become more aware. I think we wish we were more aware of how unaware we were, and it's okay because we can learn from it, and this way we can all on this planet have more pleasure and more joy and more compassion in our relationships. And of course, may it begin within, may it begin with ourselves.
Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate your sharing from the heart.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you for sharing too.
Cool. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys watching.
And join us on Saturday, February 18th for the Men Healing Women, Healing Men Circle at the Yoga for Life Studios East, which is where we are right now.
In Pompano Beach?
Yeah. All the details are down below.